वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 3, Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender, text 25 onwards. So Gajendra is further speaking. Jijivishe naham iha muya kim mantar bahish chavritye bhayonya ichhami kalena yasya viplavastasya loka varnasya moksham. I do not wish to live anymore after I am released from the attack of the crocodile. What is the use of an elephant's body, covered externally and internally by ignorance? I simply desire eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. That covering is not destroyed by the influence of time. So finally, he's saying, even if I get released, I don't wish to live anymore. In this material world, every living entity is covered by the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin that one should approach the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master, who is described and offered prayers in the Gautamiya Tantra as follows. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Although one may struggle for existence in this material world, to live forever is impossible. One must understand, however, that this struggle for existence is due to ignorance. For otherwise, every living being is an eternal part of the Supreme Lord. There is no need to live as an elephant or man, American or Indian. One should desire only to achieve liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Because of ignorance, we consider every life offered by nature to be happy and pleasing. But in the degraded life within this material world, from the life of Lord Brahma down to an ant, no one can actually be happy. And actually, no one is happy. Everybody is suffering one way or the other, whether somebody is rich, or whether somebody is poor, whether somebody is healthy, whether somebody is sick, whether somebody is beautiful, charming, whether somebody is ugly, whether somebody is very intelligent, whether somebody is dull. Actually, everybody is suffering. If you ask anybody, are you happy? Are you really happy? They'll, even if we don't know, what we don't see, but they will show us how badly they are suffering. How many things they want and they don't have, and whatever they have, they don't like. The situation they have, they don't like. The partner they have, they don't like, or how much money they have, they don't like. Whatever. There's tons and tons of situations that can make somebody unhappy and really distressed. So this material world is like that. And it's not that somebody moves from India to America or to Europe or to Japan, he's going to be happy. Or if we move from Earth to a Swargaloka, we're going to be happy. Not going to happen. It's always away from us, the happiness that we're looking for. And nobody is happy. So then what is the point in coming back into this material world again? Prabhupada says, we are making so many plans to live happily, but there cannot be any happiness in this material world. However, we may try to make a permanent settlement in this life or that. It cannot be. And to become happy in this life, somebody works honestly, very sincerely, and somebody or most of the people, they work dishonestly, crooked ways to make money, thinking I'll be happy if I get this much money by my crooked means and by that much money by crooked means, as if Krishna is not watching. Or I can be happy by playing this politics or that politics. I mean, look at Afghanistan. Now, Taliban is thinking if they take over Afghanistan, they will be happy. Of course, people there are not thinking the same way. Or if we impose Sharia law, we will be happy, or everybody will be happy. Well, as the people who are living under Sharia law, or not even under Sharia law, problem is not Sharia law or not. Problem is the material world is designed this way that nobody is going to be happy. Padam padam yata vipadam natesham dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This is how Krishna has designed it. Go figure. And Maya is so strong that we think if I twist it little this way, I will be happy. And if I twist it little that way, I will be happy. Not gonna happen. So aham vishwasrijam vishwam vishwam vishwavedasam vishwatmanamajam brahma pranato asmi param padam. Now fully desiring release from material life, I offer my respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Person who's the creator of the universe, who's himself the form of the universe, and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the supreme knower of everything in this world, the super soul of the universe. He is the unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Sometimes when Bhakti Yoga Krishna consciousness is preached to the common people, people argue, where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show him to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredients for this cosmic manifestation, who is eternally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on the basis of this suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. So he is there. He is there who has created this manifestation, who has supplied everything in this manifestation, and has become the ingredients. Without him, nothing can exist. So this is the basis. This is how we start. And Gajendra is just praying respectful obeisances, and he's saying, please, I want release from this material life. So this is the beginning of devotional life. When one is serious that no more material words and deaths. Yoga randhit karmano hridhi yoga vibhavite yogino yam prapashyanti yogesham tam nato asmyaham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, the Super Soul, the Master of all mystic yoga, who is seen in the core of the heart by perfect mystics when they're completely purified and freed from the reactions of fruitive activity by practicing Bhakti Yoga. The king of the elephants, Gajendra, simply accepted that there must be someone who has created this cosmic manifestation and has supplied its ingredients. This should be admitted by everyone, even the most determined atheist. Why then do the non-devotees and atheists not admit this? The reason is that they're polluted by the reactions of the fruitive activities. One must be freed from all the dirt accumulated within the heart due to fruitive activities performed one after another. And what is the dirt accumulated within the heart? It's the desire to enjoy the fruitive activities I have done, so I need the reactions. I want to enjoy. One must wash off this dirt by practicing bhakti yoga. Yoga randhita karmana. As long as one is covered by material nature's modes of ignorance and passion, there is no possibility of understanding the Supreme Lord. When one is freed from the modes of ignorance and passion, one becomes free from the lowest qualities, kama and lobha, lust and greed. And then one can understand or begin to understand. Not one understands him fully, one can begin. At least it comes to the level of goodness. Nowadays, there are so many yoga schools to encourage people in developing their lusty desires and greed through the practice of yoga. People are therefore very much fond of so-called yoga practice. The actual practice of yoga, however, is described here. As authoritatively stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Dhyanavastita Tadgatena. A yogi is one who always meditates on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shyama Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. So in the heart of hearts means in the soul, obviously, or next to the soul, and it can only be seen with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. In the eyes, Premanjana Churita means when the eye is anointed with love of God, then only we can see him. The Bhakti Yogi constantly sees Shyamsundar, beautiful Lord Krishna, with his blackish bodily hue. Because the king of the elephants, Gajendra, thought himself an ordinary animal, he thought himself unfit to see the Lord. In his humility, he thought that he could not practice yoga. In other words, how can those who are like animals in the bodily concept of life and who have no purity of consciousness practice yoga? In the present day, people who have no control over their senses, who have no understanding of philosophy, and who do not follow religious principles or rules and regulations are nonetheless pretending to be yogis. This is the greatest anomaly in the practice of mystic yoga. So yoga, whatever they teach these days, that's not the right way. That is only yoga asanas, somehow to keep the body healthy. But the purpose of yoga is missing. Purpose of yoga is to meditate on the Supreme Lord or to serve him, as Bhakti Yoga does. So these yogis, so-called yogis, these days, they're not true yogis. So this is what the Gajendra is praying. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, the Super Soul, the Master of all mystic yoga, who is seen in the core of the heart by perfect mystics when they're completely purified. So he's not just visible to anybody and everybody. Narad Muni practiced this for their whole life. The Dhruv Maharaj, of course, he attained in 6 months, but look at the practice, look at the austerities he performed. It's not that easy. Namo namastubhyam asaya vega shakti traya khil dhi gunaya prapanna palaya duranta shakti kadindriyanam vapi avartmane. My Lord, you're the controller of formidable strength in the three kinds of energy. You appear as the reservoir of all sense pleasure and the protector of the surrendered souls. You possess unlimited energy, but you are unapproachable by those who are unable to control their senses. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Attachment, greed, and lust are three formidable forces that prevent one from concentrating upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These forces act because the Supreme Lord does not like to be realized by non-devotees and atheists. However, when one surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, these impediments are withdrawn, and one can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this, when one surrenders, it's not just a lip service that if I say, "Oh Krishna, I surrender unto you, please show yourself to me." Oh, no, no, no. He wants to make sure we are surrendered. We're not just, and he is sitting in our heart also. That's another problem, actually. He knows what we are thinking and what we are saying. If they're same things or different. And even if they're same, even if within the core of our heart we want to surrender, but the willpower is not there, determination is not there, then obviously it will take time. Somebody asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada was giving a lecture. How long does it take for one to attain Krishna? And Prabhupada very calmly, coolly said, just a moment. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja. You just surrender. That's it. As if it was that easy. Yes, for Prabhupada it is easy. But we take time. That's the issue. Therefore, the Lord is the protector of the surrendered souls. Yes, He takes care of the surrendered soul, but He wants us to surrender fully, completely. One cannot become a devotee until one surrenders unto the Lord's lotus feet. Then the Lord gives one the intelligence from within by which one can return home back to Godhead. So one cannot become a devotee until one surrenders unto the Lord's lotus feet. Of course, one cannot surrender until one becomes a devotee. So both go hand in hand. So slowly, slowly, slowly we make progress in our surrender and in our devotion. Nayam vedaswam atmanam yachaktyam dhiya hatam tam duratyaya mahatmyam bhagvantam ito asmi aham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose illusory energy the Jiva, who's part and parcel of God, forgets his real identity because of the worldly concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, every living entity, regardless of whether he be human, demigod, animal, bird, bee, or whatever, is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord and living entity are intimately related like father and son. Unfortunately, because of material contact, the living entity forgets this and wants to enjoy the material world independently, according to his own plan. This illusion, Maya, is very difficult to surmount. Maya covers the living entity because of his willingness to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and makes his own plan to enjoy this material world. And this is what everybody is doing. Human beings, birds, animals, everybody, bees, trees, they just want to enjoy. They have their own plan, own way they think they can fulfill their desires to enjoy the material world. As long as this contamination continues, the conditioned soul will be unable to understand his real identity and will perpetually continue under illusion, life after life. Ato Ugri Kshetra Sutapta Vitter. As long as the living entity is not enlightened so that he may understand his real position, he will be attracted to materialistic life, to house, country, or field, to society, sons, family, community, bank balance, and so on. Covered by all this, he'll continue to think, I am this body and everything related to this body is mine. That everybody thinks. Dog thinks the same way and the multi-millionaire thinks the same. This materialistic conception of life is extremely difficult to surmount. But one who surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as did Gajendra, the king of the elephants, comes to enlightenment on the Brahman platform. Then they start thinking on the spiritual platform. So the idea is we just make progress in bhakti, then the materialistic ideas will start to disappear. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kamshati. One who is transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward all living entities. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Since a devotee is completely on the Brahman platform, he is not jealous of any other living entity. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. So he is equally disposed because he is fully joyful. He knows I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. And he acts on that level. He never laments nor desires to have anything. Whatever Krishna provides. Just like we saw the example of Rishabdev Maharaj with Ajagar Vritti. Whatever Krishna provides. And also we saw that Brahman whom Prahlad Maharaj met, he was heavily built, although he was following Ajagar Vritti life. 6:30. Shri Shukuvacha. Evam Gajendram Upavarnita Nirveshesham Brahmadeo Vividlingabhi Dabhimana Nate Yatopasasrip Sasripur Nikhil Atmakatvat Tatrakhil Maramayo Harira Virasita. Sri Shukdev Goswami continued, when the king of the elephants was describing the supreme authority, without mentioning any particular person, he did not invoke the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and Chandra. Thus, none of them approached him. However, because Lord Hari is the super soul, Purushottama, the personality of Godhead, he appeared before Gajendra. So he appeared right away because that was a surrender of Gajendra. From the description of Gajendra, he apparently was aiming at the supreme authority, although he did not know who the supreme authority is. He conjectured, there is a supreme authority who is above everything. Under the circumstances, the Lord's various expansions, such as Lord Brahma, Shiva, Chandra, Indra, all thought Gajendra is not asking our help. He is asking the help of the Supreme, who is above all of us. As Gajendra has described, the Supreme Lord has various parts and parcels, including the demigods, human beings, and animals, all covered by separate forms. Although the demigods are in charge of maintaining different aspects of the universe, Gajendra thought that they were unable to rescue him. Harim vina naiva mritim taranti. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. It's only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. Therefore, an intelligent person, to get free from this dangerous existence, approaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any demigod. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Kam Estesta Hirtagyana. Those who are unintelligent approach various demigods for temporary material benefits. Actually, however, these demigods cannot rescue the living entity from the dangers of material existence. Like other living entities, the demigods are merely external parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's transcendental body. As stated in the Vedic mantra, Sa Atma Angani Anya Devata. Within the body is the Atma, the soul, whereas the various parts of the body, like the hands and legs, are external. Similarly, the Atma of the entire cosmic manifestation is Narayan, Lord Vishnu, and all the demigods, human beings, and other living entities are parts of his body. So demigods, they are very powerful, but they are in charge of the different departments of the material existence. And they all are subservient to the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada again gives the example of, it may also be concluded that since a tree lives on the strength of its root, and when the root is nourished with water, all the parts of the tree are nourished. So one should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original root of everything. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very difficult to approach, he is very near to us because he lives within our hearts. So he is the nearest person actually to the soul. As soon as the Lord understands that one is seeking his favor by fully surrendering, naturally he immediately takes action. Therefore, although the demigods did not come to the aid of Gajendra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately appeared before him because of his fervent prayers. This does not mean that the demigods were angry with Gajendra, or actually when Lord Vishnu is worshipped, all the other demigods are also worshipped. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. Then, because they all are servants or they all are devotees of the Supreme Lord, they're not envious or jealous. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, so simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped, all the demigods are satisfied. So we don't need to separately worship them. So the Supreme Lord Hari appeared right away, and none of the demigods appeared because they understood Gajendra is not asking for help from us. So Krishna appeared. So we'll stop here and complete this chapter tomorrow, Krishna's mercy, and then we'll start the next chapter. So anybody has any questions or comments? Hare Krishna. So you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila